Good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone doing? I hope that you are doing okay today. Welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. I hope that you're enjoying your holiday weekend. I decided to do a video right quick before, unfortunately for me, I got to be out. I was able to stay at home this morning, but I got to get out in the field. But I wanted to get on today, especially with all of the chaos. Oh, as you come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and please share the video, but definitely hit the like button. I want to first say I really appreciate all of my subscribers. Um, my subscribers absolutely rock. And then God is so good. He's been sending more subscribers that just blend right in with the subscribers that I have. And my subscribers are extremely proactive in being supportive of the channel and looking at the videos and even with the spectators. I don't believe that the spectators are not even subscribed. So I do believe that the majority of who I have that subscribed are true subscribers who really enjoy the channel, and I want to always, bring good content. I want to be be oh Lord, I want to always, that phone call kind of threw me off. Be transparent and bring good content, and like I said, be transparent with my subscribers, because there are some days that I lose it, but we're all human, and you all definitely are very understanding, and I truly appreciate that so much. But I wanted to get on here today to say stay focused, because even with, I'm a real cool person. I am. And I, like I say, I grew up in the hood, but I ain't lived in the hood since I was about 12. But I still have family that was in South Memphis. And I'm very proud of growing up in South Memphis. Like, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. You know, I'm very happy about those beginnings, because that's how I know about loyalty. I'm able to identify with people that came from nothing. We made something into nothing, and we had little, but it was like we had everything, because that's when people truly cared about each other, truly cared about life. Coming up during my time in the 80s, and it was just, I love it. I think about it now, going to Norris and living in the projects, and we were all like family growing up in the projects that I grew up in. And I tell you, it took me a long time to adjust. God blessed us, because we moved from there and we moved to a beautiful neighborhood. God really blessed our family. But um I even sometimes now, like, I'll ride through, when if I'm, especially if I'm going somewhere, if I'm on a case or something like that, I'll ride through the old hoods and kind of go down the back roads and kind of ride by Norris. I think it is something else now. That was my elementary school. Um, and just kind of ride around the area. I saw where they've torn the projects down that I grew up in. I got really sad. But it was just very family oriented. Um, and people and children, even when we was bad, hell, we cussed like damn sailors, you know. But we would fight, and we still respected life. We was taught to do that. Even the OGs, the thugs, they respected the elders. They did not cuss in front of the elders, because they already know they was gonna get their asses tore out the frame when they got home, because Miss Deborah was gonna be in to call your mama and told on you, your auntie or somebody. By the time you walked in the house, she was getting a belt to the butt for being disrespectful to older people, right? And I know now things have changed, and it seems like, and all of this stuff has been engineered, and I have to talk about that in another segment. But it's like nobody has respect for each other, and it seems like, you know, um, people are able to do bad things oftentimes and get away with it. But that's just how it looks, because that's how the enemy wants, that's what the enemy wants you to think. Well, I ain't, because I hear people say all the time, And people give up too quick too. It's a lot of wimpy people now. They don't have any fight in them. They don't have any wind in them. So when things go wrong one time, or they might try again. Oh, let me plug this up before this cuts out. They might try again, but okay. Yeah, they might try again. And if they try again, um and it doesn't work out the way they want it to work out, then they'll just completely give up, and they'll go, well, yeah, I may as well just do bad. I just might as well do bad things because it seemed like the bad people are winning, and that's not true. I wanted to get on here to say, stay focused no matter what. Just stay focused and keep your eyes on the prize, because I think about you guys, and it's going on right now as it relates to everything, and God put this into my spirit. Regardless of how I get mad and be cussing Negroes out, and I ain't even no real big cusser. You have to upset me for me to cuss you out. And when I feel violated, that's one of my things. Because I've always been taught that men are supposed to protect and women are supposed to be supportive of other sisters. But what I see is a lot of men now are violated, especially on YouTube, and it makes me extremely mad. And But things are being done about that, and it's sad that the sisters are not being supportive. They're allowing these men to lead them into a burning house, because what these men are doing is definitely led them to a burning house. That house is burning down, and these sisters have followed them into that, and I hate that. Okay, I hate that. That's why I say, sisters have got to our sisters have got to do better. Okay. But when I say stay focused, you have to understand. Oh, I was talking get ready to make my point about the Bible. And I know I'm not saying this verbatim, but think about when the devil tried to tempt Jesus. And he tried to tempt Jesus with all kinds of things. And Jesus said, "We shall not live by bread alone, but by every word, the word of God, every word in that Bible." I know I'm not saying it verbatim, but he resisted the devil. And then after the devil tried to tempt him so many times, the devil had to flee. And I like that story, because what's happening now ain't nobody resisting. The devil is consistently tempting people with their money, with money, to violate people and do all kinds of evil things, to even violate themselves. Because when you take money to do things that you know is not right, you are really disrespecting yourself. I think it takes away from a man's manhood when he take money to do evil things to other people. That's even if a person asks you, because it's certain. Let me tell you something. It's people. Some of these people that's got some of this money right now, and I say right now because it's gonna come to a head. But some of these people that's got some of this money right now, there are certain people that they would not even ask to pay to do certain things, because they already know. It's just something about their character. It's something about their demeanor. They already know that they are real strong men and women, that they cannot be bought out. And they know that it would even be disrespectful to ask them to take some money to do some garbage stuff, right? That's why my message is, no matter what, stay focused. Because if you stay focused and keep your eyes on the prize, after a while, just like the devil had to flee with Jesus, these people gonna start falling off. And God had to put that in my spirit today, because in my work, I've come across a whole lot of stuff. And believe it or not, I'm a strong person. I'm just a very passionate person. And even still, with a lot that's going on, and a lot that's getting ready to go on, I even in my situation, I hate that it had to come to what it had to come to. But what y'all are going to see, in a little while. But when people start to violate, there is no other choice, but even still, you have to stay focused, because I know for me, even though I seem real hard, I have a very tender heart. I do. I don't like to see mess with people's livelihoods. I don't like to see people go to jail. I don't I don't like that. But when you start violating with people's privacies, when you start violating with people's life and start taking lives, there are consequences for that. And I know a lot of times we get passionate. I know we talk about this young dogs case all the time. There are a lot of other cases that we're going to talk about, and missing persons and things of that nature. It gets people extremely emotional. And I think it gets us emotional because we feel like, if nothing is happening right now, then there's no justice. No, justice takes time. It has always taken time so that it could be concrete. If these people be wanting you to think that they're winning, they're not winning. These folks worried. I would hate to be in a lot of these people's positions that have actually committed offenses and taken somebody's life because they know at some point their life is ultimately going to be over in that jail, right? For life. And a prison in your mind, and a prison in a box in a cell, that's even worse than the grave, right? And all for nothing. So that's why I always say, no matter what, stay focused, because God is in control. A devil in hell can't stop justice. A devil in hell can't stop what you have going on. Because I know oftentimes when a person has a light on their life, like it's like I've always attracted troubled people. My mother is the same way, and my mom is so laid back and reserved and quiet. You can't hardly get her to say nothing. Very unassuming. You talking about a person that don't judge nobody. You hear me? Nobody. Okay. And but people, especially troubled people, they just attach to her. If she could be sitting in the room by herself, troubled people are going to zone in on her the same way they do me. But I got a little bit of my dad and my grandmama in me. See, my grandmother, my mom's mom, was very feisty. It skipped my mama's gene and hit me. And then I got a little bit of my dad that's very persistent and determined, right? But troubled people are troubled. They attach to us. I guess because we have that nurturing spirit, because I understand. That's why even with these kids, and I'm so hard on people when they have these kids out there doing crash dummy stuff, because I understand these kids are trouble, because a lot of them they have been introduced to narcotics and drugs at an early age. They already come from troubled homes. So yes, I'm very hard on the big dogs and the OGs when they send them on crash dummy missions instead of trying to help them, because they are our future. That's why you hear me get on here and act a damn fool. Okay? Because I'm very passionate about our youth and our generations. Having, our people and our ancestors had it hard enough for our people to be blessed, and we help them to get in positions because we support them. And then they forget and send destruction back. I don't respect that. Giving money to somebody one time because somebody been talking about your ass in a and and you ain't been doing, don't mean a damn thing, especially when you have made it a habit of destroying. That's just trying to make yourself look good, and in the background you're still destroying people. So I still don't respect you for that, especially if you're going to put it on the internet. Okay. But no matter what, y'all, stay focused, because God is in control. When you have people that are praying, I was listening to Dolph's fiance Mia J, and I don't post in my comments talking about she wanted his fiance. I said she is. I can say what I want to say. If that's what she identified herself as, then who am I to say that she wasn't? Because see, what people gonna do is they don't want to get the message. We zone in on the wrong thing because of evil and hate in our heart, and we got to stop this mess. There's no way in the world that I'm going to be hard on Mia J and not be hard on the people, and I almost called them a word, that had a consistent pattern of trying to take Dolph out. And even as it relates to any other case, where people have unjustly lost their lives, there's no justification unless a person is a threat to you for taking a person out. Jealousy sure ain't no justification. But I was listening to her say, I pray hard and I feel sorry for the people who try to come up against me. And it goes back to what I always say. And it kind of resonates with me because I've always said this. I've always said this. You have to be very careful about who you come up against and who you put your mouth on, because God is good. God honors prayers. And then God says, with two or three agree, I will be in the midst. You don't know who these people got in agreement with them when they're praying, and you don't know the prayers of their ancestors. See, a lot of people are alive right now because God is honoring those prayers, even though they jacked up as hell, because God is honoring those prayers of their ancestors who prayed and sealed prayers in heaven long before they was ever even thought of, generations ago. God is still really, they alive on grace, because God says, I am not a man that I shall lie, nor the son of man where I have to repent. He honors prayers. And so when these people have prayers and they have prayer groups and they have people, in their circle that's truly for them, not people that claim that they're for them, because you're in a prayer group and y'all been coming together and y'all call yourself agreeing and praying and ain't nothing came to pass, you need to get into another damn prayer group, because you probably got some snakes in the pit. And every time you put your prayers into the atmosphere, them witches coming against it. You have to be careful. That's why I don't want everybody praying for me, because everybody that say they praying for you ain't. Okay. But when you have true praying warriors praying for you, and they coming into agreement, folks call themselves gonna put their mouth on you, especially when they're lies and it's defamation. They'll mess around and have a damn stroke and their damn tongue and stuff twisted. They'll have a heart attack and die, because God is a God of wrath. He said, touch not my anointed ones and do my prophets no harm. A lot of these people in positions that they are in because they came up against the wrong person. Adolf was a person that these folks never should have taken out, because the earth shook that night in Memphis. God wasn't pleased with that, and he's still shaking it in the spiritual realm. These folks ain't gonna tell you they scared, or they know them folks coming for them, because they coming. I done told y'all it's gonna be some more indictments. Because when you do wrong, wrong has to follow you. And getting on here being mad at a vlogger ain't gonna stop nothing. Sending your minions out, the only thing that people are doing is getting other people involved, whether you paid or not. Some of these folks paid, they got professions, and they making up these fake ass pages, and I'm gonna sue them. Okay? Be quiet. Stop. Stop. Okay? Stop. So no matter what, y'all, stop, Remy. Stop. Stop. Act good one time. Stay focused, because God is still in control. Okay? God is still in control. God is still in control. Stop. And he still is going to make sure that justice is served. And that's as it relates to anybody. Not just Dolph, but anything that is not right. And I think a lot of times what the devil want to do is, see, prayer makes things happen, y'all. A lot of times when we get so frustrated, we forget to pray, because we got frustration and stuff all on our brain. Okay, we'll forget to pray because that thing got us boggled down. Okay. And so that's what the devil wants. The devil want for you to be on your mind and put out all kinds of stuff that ain't gonna even matter in about 6 months anyways. Okay. Want you to get mad and things of that nature. That's why I always say stay calm. I have to think about my own words sometimes. But the devil want to keep you off of your game of praying, because if you don't pray, then you can't stay focused, and prayer makes things happen. I'm telling you right now. I was talking to my mother last night. She said, I was looking at your vlog, and she was like, you know, you ain't keeping the main thing the main thing. Let them folks handle their stuff. As far as what's going on with you, stop talking about that. You already know what's going to happen in Young Dog's case. It's going to be some justice, but you stay focused. And that's why I'm talking about this now. She says, you better. Have you been getting on your knees praying to God? She said, because, and at this point in time, you can't afford not to, especially when those devils have zoned in on you. The only thing that's going to keep them knocked back is prayer until all of this stuff is settled. She says you can't take your eyes off of God, because that's what the devil wants, and that's so true. We take our eyes off of God and we forget who actually sits on the throne. Because I'm gonna tell you something: when God get them, they got. It's better than any retaliation that we could ever do. The whooping of God is worse than any physical retaliation that we could ever do. Because when God get him, you don't see him no more. He'll take him on out of here, and your hands ain't got to be on it, and you ain't even got to worry about no karma. So my message is to stay focused no matter what. Don't let the devil take you off of your game. If God has put something in your spirit, just like he's put me on here to talk about a lot of different things, to include this Young Dog's case, don't take your eyes off of the prize. When people lie on you, don't take your eyes off of the prize. Keep calling their name out to God, and after a while, the God says, that demon you will see no more. How God deals with that, it ain't got nothing to do with you or I, but we just know when God do it, it ain't you don't have to worry about the karma. And I ain't talking about no nigga that's sitting up talking about God gonna do something to him, and they wrong. Some of these folks is wrong and trying to use God. Now I'm gonna use God to go get them. Nigga, you did that. You did that, and you was a part of doing a lot of this stuff, a part of a lot of people's demise, and you got the nerve to be calling on God. And he says, I'm not a respecter of persons. See, a lot of people think that they can do wrong and then go to God and say, and God, forgive me. He says that he'll forgive you. And I don't even like to call God a he, because that's putting him on the level of us, and we could never be on the level of God, because he's the Almighty. But he says, I'll forgive you. God says, I'll forgive you, but you still gonna have to reap what you sow. So a lot of these people are gonna have to go through a lot of the seeds that they've sown, but he'll give you grace to go through it. But when you're doing evil, you're still gonna have to pay for it. It ain't no way around it. And you have to be very careful when you're coming up against praying people, because oftentimes, if you don't get it back, somebody close to you will. That's why I don't let everybody attach to me, because I don't know what they got going on, and I don't want to be caught up in their karma. A lot of times I think about how a lot of times, how we've been attached to people, maybe in relationships, men or women, and it didn't work out, and sometimes we're devastated and we don't know that God is looking out for us, because people have such bad karma attached to them, and God is looking out for you. So because you got praying mothers and grandmothers, even when we weren't praying for ourselves and we were blind, that God ripped that apart, because that person had to go through something God didn't want you to go through with them. Because a lot of times when we love people, we'll be trying to go through storms with them that we was never even designed to go through with them. God never wanted us around that. So no matter what, stay focused. I've learned now, when things don't work out the way I wanted to, I go, well, God, I know you got another door for me. And I'm such a blessed person. It'll be another door, because I've been whooped so much for kicking in doors that God had closed. If I had turned my back, I would have seen another door was open. And then I went through doors and got whooped cat raggedy that I didn't even have to go through. Where if I had just said, well, God, I trust you, and I'm gonna stay focused and trust the process. I could have went through another door and I wouldn't have had to go through that. But those are life's experiences that I even see my girls going through, that I be wanting to stop them so bad, but they're in their 20s. I can't. I have to let them live. But no matter what, stay focused, because if you stay focused, there is always a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And trust me, these devils gonna fall off, because God's word cannot return void. They are definitely going to reap what they sow. They're definitely going to reap what they sow. That's why I always say stay calm, just let it play out. Because when you get emotional and start saying and doing stuff, especially if you don't have an agenda and you ain't being paid, you get yourself into something you don't necessarily have to be in, because your emotions put you in it. A lot of times these devils be wanting to get you emotional so that you can start doing stuff that you will live to regret. You cannot think logically when you're emotional. See, when you're out of control, somebody else is in control of you, and it's normally the puppet master. I don't like people being in control of me. Y'all hear how I cuts up when somebody think they're gonna control me. That's one of my pet peeves. Okay. So no matter what, nobody but God, okay? Nobody but God. No matter what, stay focused, y'all, and keep your eyes on the prize. I want y'all to have a happy Sunday, and I'll probably get on live tonight. I love you all.